Nicole Connolly to the stage.
Awesome-er.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to be here as always. So for me in particular, something I've been writing pretty obsessively about, as regulars here know, that relates to the theme is my own bipolar disorder. And it's pretty dangerous these days to live with it. It's wise for me to hide the fact that I have it from my insurance company in case insurance laws changes, which is extraordinarily dangerous because until I can feel safe telling my insurance company about my disorder, I can't afford to be medicated. So there's a lot of trying to outpace this thing that's happening in my head that I didn't choose to happen. So my reading tonight is going to be centered around that. And I'm going to start with a poem from one of my contemporaries, Sophie Clare, and I have sort of a wild ride laid out, so I'll just say hold applause until the end. I'm going to pull that card. So this is Two Stones Swallow by Sophie Clare. When is a woman like a well, when she waits, stone pale, pistol, a hush, at the well's edge a snake. What else lives in a wall? Snake, a scale of yet. I drop a stone into my mouth, watch for the echo pass through my body. Does the well have an ebb, ever feel full? Not everything makes a sound, but how long to wait? When is a man like a throat? When he is silent, doing briefly what smoke does there, black passage, piece hollow as a stem. In mania, the edges of everything have an outline only the sick can see. I mean, I saw what seeing did, that brutal. Sometimes, even speaking of it is a sickness. And this next one is very new. And it's actually about a picture of me that was taken across the street at the church over there a long time ago when I first started coming here, actually. And this is ekphrastic for photo of me taken during my first manic episode. It begins in the upper left, where the church sign exclaims, "Jesus loves you," above the Passion of the Christ poster, faded away to passion. Like Mel Gibson's, my forehead drips red, this sweaty Kool-Aid hair. I, too, am a spectacle of love, two thumbs jabbed up as if I carry spinning plates on them and the thorned tips of my smile. I am withholding my palms while I prepare to lay my hands on only the sick and the broken. My whole being becomes an open side. No one needs to truly believe in me. Just reach inside and take something. Whatever it is will grow back. However else, this body will try to kill itself. In the apex of the street leading behind me, a blur of light. Every time I walk into the tomb, I realize I'm walking out again. And I wrote this one a while ago, and I've never read it because I didn't want people to be worried about me. But this happened 4 or 5 years ago, and I haven't done anything like this since, so it's okay. So this is Mania in the City of Orange. I decide that I have been wrong my whole life, that I need to learn to say yes. So when a strange man pulls over in his car and asks if I want a job on his palm tree plantation, I hop in. He will teach me to drive a stick shift, take me to pick dates at his nursery, buy me chili rellenos, as many as I can eat. He crisscrosses through town, shows off every palm he planted, until we sit in the parking lot of a driving range, cups of ice cream in our laps. It isn't so bad. The part of me Christians call the soul sits in the back seat, watches the man more than twice my age say, "Do you know why I asked if you like dessert?" Wonders why none of the golfers pause to question us in his SUV lit like an uncurtained kitchen at night where anyone could look in and see. When he drops me off later, he slides 2 20s out of an envelope of $10,000, puts them in my hand so he can pull at me. He says, "You are a blessing," and inhales it so deeply he lifts the blonde out of my hair and the rose from my skin, and the car goes dark as my head. I open the door, collapse to the curb, crawl up the driveway to my house. In all the images I've seen of Joan of Arc, she's screaming on her pyre. I guess the most blessed kind of woman is the kind most destructively alight. Okay. Mania is a trust fall into the arms of an unloving God, wherein I am the fallen and the God. Why else that passage in Psych, Soc, Anthro 101? Some cultures revere the mentally ill, etc., for their connection, etc., to the divine, etc. Anyway, isn't that why you're wary? Yes, anyone could be a firstborn son in my Egypt. And confession, there were years it seemed the world was a forlorn riverbed, yearning for the return of its lava and studly horsemen. And wasn't it my revelation? I left a grilled cheese to smolder overnight and rose unignited to never get so drunk again. Even if they do call it praying to the porcelain god. Anyway, I can humble myself small enough for anyone to fit their arms around me and call it a halo. Yes, I am anyone's good wife, even if scientists feed mice PCP to make them act like me. Oh, it's why they call it angel dust. It's just there are barbs from a seraph's wing where my DNA should be. It's just that there is no weather except a brass band, and sometimes I am followed by an army of shine only I can see. It's not the pearls I dream of anyway. It's the sin of turning wine to water.